Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino, and unfortunately, it's time for you and I to get back to work. Just one more day off would have been nice. Anyway, so let's talk you and me. Lots of stuff going on here as usual. Um, but the big story this morning is I can't even say the name. Okay, it's Janet Freak Show Creature Yellen. Janet Yellen. Let's talk about Janet Yellen here. Former Fed chairperson Janet Yellen. I think she's demented. That's number one. She's been demented for a very, very long time. Um, but this morning, she's coming out explaining, and this is really the truth. So I got to give her that. She's explaining that the Federal Reserve needs to start raising rates now. If you were to look at stock futures, they're kind of laughing at her right now. Stock futures are higher, realizing the market realizes that ain't happening. And the Fed is going to keep pumping easy money into this market here. The game is very simple. Rates will not be allowed to rise for several reasons. The biggest reason is this, and it's been going on since the last meltdown of '08 here. It's grand theft on an unimaginable scale. Anyone with an interest earning account has been robbed, literally robbed, in aggregate, trillions of dollars in realized gains have been lost because of suppressed rates. And this is a mechanism, like I've explained to you, to create this two-tier society, to wipe out the middle class, push cash up to the one percenters. So Janet Yellen, the creature, can say whatever she wants to. It's a game. You see, I explained to you a long time ago that the U.S. Treasury and the Federal Reserve are literally destroying not just the United States, but the world. Because again, the dollar remains the world reserve currency. And I don't care how many people are out here saying that, the dollar is going away as the world reserve currency. The only way that would happen would be a world war. Period. That's it. The lengths that have already been put in place to establish the fiat monetary system and the petrodollar have cost, the entire Vietnam War was fought to establish the petrodollar, to solidify the fiat monetary system. This is it. So it ain't happening at this time. And central banks around the world are really working towards they already have it, a one world government ruled, notice my wording here, by the central banks, by the banks themselves. It's a global takeover, like I've explained to you since time immemorial. So whatever comes out of Yellen's mouth, as the U.S. Treasury Secretary, it's just part of the game. She knows this is not going to happen. The Federal Reserve will keep rates, and I told you this recently, the Federal Reserve wants the federal funds rate, the overnight rate, at zero. We're almost at zero now. And that's the way it's going to go. The grand theft is going to continue on a massive scale. We've never seen anything like it. This is a crime in progress. It's a crime in progress. Everybody knows it. But, everyone's happy looking at the stock market. Anyway, the market will continue its trajectory higher until it doesn't. Now, this morning, crude oil is under a little bit of pressure. So is gold and silver right now. And it's kind of an interesting phenomenon because the dollar is weaker this morning, and crude oil, gold, silver are priced in dollars. So a weaker dollar technically should be positive for these assets. But again, crude oil is right near $70 a barrel. It's going through it. It's going much higher. We all know that. Bank of America saying $100 for a barrel. Yeah, I think they're pretty much spot on here with regard to that, because the dollar, again, is a dying asset by design. It will continue its free fall as people struggle. It's an incredible thing. This morning, I'm sitting here, I'm watching Bloomberg, and again, what are they talking about? Inflation. Yeah, sure, we have inflation. But again, they're pointing at energy prices. They're pointing at supply chain disruptions. They can't talk about the Fed. They can't talk about how the Fed is deliberately creating it. It's an insane thing to me, people. The Fed is being allowed to issue debt through one door and then buy it through another. Why isn't anyone talking about this? It's an incredible thing to me. Anyway, so with that said, the last time I looked, stock futures were slightly positive, okay? Even after Yellen had said, the Fed needs to start raising rates. Duh, we all know that. Ain't going to happen. The Fed is the government. They'll do whatever they want to, when they want to do it. Our puppet politicians, all of them, calling for the Fed. We need a digital dollar so we can compete with China. Are you kidding me? Oh, look, it's starting to get to me. It's too early in the freaking morning, but it's really the truth here. Cryptocurrencies right now, people are catching a bid. They are consolidating here. And again, I really believe in my heart of hearts that this is a buying opportunity. It's a buying opportunity across the board. For the stock market, if it falls today, it's a buying opportunity. Gold and silver, obviously buying opportunity. And in cryptocurrencies, because central banks have not even begun to inflate. So whatever comes out of the mouth of creatures like Janet Yellen, they're not done. The Fed will keep suppressing rates, especially after the jobs report, the hideous, vomitous jobs report that we just got Friday. You got to be kidding me. Even the brilliant people, the really smart people at CNBC are saying, well, after this jobs miss, the Fed's going to continue doing what it's doing. That's a double duh. Can't make this stuff up, people. So look, what are we doing, you and me? What are we doing? We're keeping ourselves on the right side of the freak show, like I always tell you. And I promise to keep you there. I just don't lose sight of what's actually going on here. Okay, it's a twisted environment that you couldn't possibly make up if you tried to. All right, with central banks literally running the show, we have a managed market. I want you to think about this. We do not have a free market in any way, shape, or form. When you have a central bank, the Fed, and other central banks around the world artificially suppressing rates, what does this mechanism do? It forces cash into the stock market, forcing a hyper bubble. Real estate bubbles by the Fed artificially supplying demand by buying $40 billion a month in mortgage-backed security. You tell me, is this a free market? No, of course it's not. So you can't apply free market thinking to a market that's completely rigged to the highest possible order. You understand that? But again, you and I know exactly what we should be doing. Let them play their games with gold and silver. I don't give a damn. I'm going to keep buying. Cryptocurrencies, same thing. And you're going to hear more talk against people owning cryptocurrencies. And to me, it's a massive buying sign. When you hear the mainstream financial channels, a politician, whoever saying, oh, you shouldn't be owning cryptocurrencies. If you hear a bank, for example, like JP Morgan saying, cryptos are going to run much, much lower. That means you got to buy it. You understand? You want to be on the side with the banks are? No. How you take advantage of the banks is you do the opposite of what they're telling you to do. You understand? And you'll just come out smelling like a rose. All right, with that said, people, look, I'm out of here. Today, live, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I will be on with Alex Jones. I know a lot of you hate the guy, but, whatever. He's passionate. I like that. A lot of you love the guy, too, and that's fantastic. Look, I'm just trying to get my message out here. I want people to hear what's really going on. So tune into that. It's like band video or something along those lines. 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's going to be interesting. And every time I've been on Alex's show, I get a lot of positive feedback, and people are getting the message. They really are. They're understanding the environment we are in, how bad it is, how twisted it is. It's sick. It's revolting. But again, you think it's going to stop? How about no? How about absolutely not? It's only going to continue, and as a matter of fact, it's going to get much, much worse. Much, much worse. By design, none of this is by accident at all. We are, what is the Fed doing? All right. They're marching us, and we're in it right now, a full-blown currency crisis. And Again, it's going to be the same mechanism. Problem, reaction, solution. And the solution is digital dollar, just like members of Congress are calling for. It's unbelievable, people. All right. Love you a lot. Please share the video. I will see you later or on Alex's show. And I'm looking forward to that.